Welcome back to the deep dive. So this is it, our final look at why you might choose McMaster Divinity College for a PhD.
Yeah, we've covered quite a bit. Today, we're really digging into the structure, how the program actually works day to day, year to year.
Exactly, the nuts and bolts. And what's great is you're living this, so you can give us the real inside scoop. Let's jump in. How's the academic year set up?
Okay, so MDC runs on 3 semesters.
Mm.
You've got the fall, that's September to December.
Right.
Then winter, January through April. And then there's a summer semester, too.
3 semesters. Interesting. So what does that mean for, workload? How many courses are you taking?
Well, typically in the fall and winter semesters, you take 2 courses each.
Okay, 2 and 2.
Yeah. In the summer, generally you don't have actual classes then. It's more for research, language study, that kind of thing.
Gotcha. So a bit of breathing room from lectures in the summer, but you're still expected to be working.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Continuous enrollment is the standard, across all 3 semesters.
Yeah.
Unless there's a significant health issue or something, you're always engaged.
Makes sense. Keep some momentum going. And the whole thing, how long does it usually take, start to finish?
The minimum time is 4 years,
Mm-hmm.
but you have up to 6 years to complete it.
4 to 6 years. Okay, pretty standard time frame for a PhD. So those first 2 years, you mentioned coursework. What are those classes like?
They're mainly seminar style, which is great because you're in these small classes, learning directly from some, really world-class
Okay,
professors.
small classes sound like a huge plus. Lots of interaction.
Definitely. Lots of discussion, real engagement with the material and the professors. It's not just sitting listening to lectures.
You had a particularly unique seminar experience, didn't you? Something about being the only student.
I did, yeah. It was back in 2023, a Septuagint class. And, yeah, I was the only student enrolled. So it was basically one-on-one, well, 2-on-1, with Professor Stanley Porter and Mark Boda. We even had visiting scholars pop in. It was incredibly intense, but amazing.
That's unbelievable mentorship. Talk about personalized learning. Okay, so seminars, discussions. What about the workload, the actual assignments?
Right. So for pretty much every course, you're required to write at least 2 major academic papers.
2 per course.
Yeah. And the idea is these aren't just like term papers.
Mhm.
They should be potentially publishable, suitable for sending to academic journals.
Okay, so over the first 2 years, that's what, 8 courses total? So maybe 16 papers?
Around that, yeah. Yeah, aiming for around 16 is more typical. It means you're constantly writing.
That's a serious amount of writing. It sounds like you're producing scholarship right from the start.
That's exactly the point. These papers can become part of your dissertation later, or you might present them at conferences, or try to get them published as articles or even book chapters.
So you're building a portfolio as you go.
Pretty much. And you get really good practice, right? Writing basically 1 academic paper a month for 2 years straight. It hones your skills.
Definitely sharpens the writing muscles. Okay, so coursework, lots of writing. What else happens in those first couple of years? There's a language requirement too, right?
Yes, that's right. During those first 4 semesters, while you're doing coursework, you also need to pass an academic language exam.
Like German, for example.
German is a common one, yeah. Or French, sometimes others, depending on your specific field in biblical studies. You need to be able to engage with scholarship in other languages.
And the summer semester is a good time to focus on that.
Exactly. Since there aren't usually courses, you can dedicate time to studying for that language exam.
Okay, makes sense. So coursework done, language exam passed. What's the next big hurdle?
The comprehensive exams, comps. They usually come right after the coursework is finished.
Comps sounds serious. What do they involve?
They are serious. You basically choose 3 different topic areas within your specialization, and for each one you have to master a reading list of about, say, 15 key books or major articles.
15 books per topic, so 45 books total. Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot of reading, a lot of synthesis, and they are high stakes.
How high?
Well, if you don't pass your comps, you generally have to leave the program.
Okay, so definitely a major milestone. But assuming you pass, what's the benefit? Apart from staying in the program, obviously.
Right. Well, passing comps gives you this really broad, solid understanding of your field. It helps you generate ideas for your dissertation, for sure. And it also gives you the foundation you'd need to teach, like introductory university courses on those subjects.
So it really confirms your expertise across the board.
Got it.
Yeah.
Are there other things happening alongside the coursework and comps prep?
Yeah, there are a few other supplementary things usually worked out with your supervisor.
Like things like maybe writing a vocational report, thinking about how your academic work connects to, broader life or ministry. Presenting at academic conferences is encouraged. internationally, if possible.
Getting your work out there.
Exactly. Seeking publication opportunities, too. Sometimes even interviews with external scholars, which can be really helpful for feedback.
That sounds like a lot to juggle. Is it overwhelming?
It sounds like a lot, I know, but honestly, if you're diligent and organized, it's manageable. And it's all part of your professional development, becoming part of the academic community.
Right, building that scholarly identity. Okay, so you've done courses, language, past comps, done the supplementary stuff. What then?
Then you officially move into the dissertation phase. And the first big step there is getting your dissertation proposal approved.
The proposal, that's like the blueprint for the big research project.
Exactly. You outline your research question, your methodology, what you hope to contribute, and crucially, it needs to be approved by both your primary supervisor and your secondary supervisor.
2 supervisors signing off. Okay.
Right.
And once that's approved...
Once the proposal is approved, you are officially a PhD candidate.
Ah, the magic words.
Yeah, and then you dive deep into the research and writing of the actual dissertation. That becomes your main focus.
The big push to the finish line. And what's the very last step?
The final hurdle is the oral defense. Once the dissertation is written, you have to defend it.
In front of who?
In front of your 2 supervisors, plus an external examiner and expert in your specific field from another university.
The external examiner sounds intense.
It can be, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's your chance to really discuss your research, defend your arguments, and show you've made an original contribution. Pass that defense, and you've done it. You've earned the PhD.
Wow. It's quite a journey. Structured, demanding, but clearly designed to produce serious scholars. And where are you in this process right now?
I'm actually gearing up for my comprehensive exams right now, so deep in the reading lists.
Right in the thick of it. Well, that perfectly wraps up our series on why choose MDC for your PhD. Thanks for sharing all that firsthand insight.
No problem. It's been good to talk through it all.
So just to quickly recap for everyone listening, we've seen that MDC's PhD program has a really clear structure. The semesters, the coursework, the emphasis on producing publishable papers right away. Then you have the language requirement, the major hurdle of comprehensive exams, and finally, the dissertation and defense.
Yeah, it's definitely rigorous, very focused on research output and preparing you for an academic career.
It really sounds like it. So for you listening, if you're thinking about a PhD in biblical studies, consider this structure. Does this kind of intensive, publication-oriented journey fit with your academic goals? How do you see yourself developing as a scholar, and could a program like MDC's, with this level of preparation and expected output, be the right place to make that happen? Something to definitely ponder.